Bonjour, oh mon ami. Can you believe the shower of meteors we were lucky enough to witness last night? We somehow found a way to simultaneously inhabit the cold expanse of space and the warmth of our little Earth, didn't we? I mean the way they cast fleeting traces of stardust across the night sky, dancing their way into oblivion. It sure had a way of transporting one. It felt like they were tiny cosmic performers, bewitching us with their spellbinding ballet. Non? You know, it made me ponder about the magnanimity of the universe and our role as tiny specks, occupying a minute portion of this vast, limitless space. Quite thought-provoking, eh? And while we're on the subject of space and sparking ones, do you remember the board game night at Sophie's? Friendships molded into rivalries, laughter echoing through the room, and battles of wit and strategy. It was all so stellar, for the lack of a better term. Of course, who could possibly overlook Ji-hoon's flair for the dramatic flipping the board in an unexpected, hilarious twist? And Ho-jin, our undisputed champ, with his victory dance that could put even the best K-pop idols to shame. I have to say, his moves were something. With that in mind, what do you think about making this board game extravaganza a more regular happening? Perhaps every 2 weeks or so? After all, a little dash of friendly competition never hurt anyone, right? Plus, it's such a fun way for us to bond and de-stress after our hectic schedules. On an entirely different note, have you ever considered how a giraffe would wear a tie? This is one of Max's favorite riddles, and it's been making the rounds in my head today. Top or bottom of the neck? Where would you place it? Okay, it's probably a tie, no pun intended, as bizarre topics of conversation go. But then again, isn't life mostly about delighting in these random musings? With board games and meteor showers, with ties on giraffes and the essence of the universe, and the beauty of these moments that twinkle, just as transient and illuminating as a shooting star. And I'm glad that I get to share them with you, my North Star. So, I had some quality friend time with Liam today, our very own kangaroo from the land down under. You remember Liam, right? Our music-loving Aussie pal who spins tales of the melodious Australian outback as expertly as he plays the didgeridoo. Today's rendezvous was a serendipitous blend of soundscapes, weaving the threads of Australian, Korean, and French music. There's something transfixing about Australia's music scene. It's like their pop rock bands are dancing on the edge of the musical frontier recently. They are breathing new life into pop rock, adding dashes of saltiness and bites of reality to their lyrics. A touch of the Australian outback, if you will. You know I've always welcomed such musical exploration, and our conversation nudged my muse into overdrive. One can never guess where inspiration decides to strike, huh? It's intriguing, this intermingling of cultures that music allows. Just as we pour our essence, our je ne sais quoi into our music, I got a taste today of what thrums at the heart of Aussie tunes. And trust me, mon ami, it is nothing short of fascinating. And guess what? Liam showed an affinity towards the hypnotic allure of our enchanting French chansons. The way those poetic lyrics court the melodies, he was like a sailor drawn to the song of the sirens. I've set Pierre on a quest to send him some of our favorite tracks. Can't wait for Liam's reaction. Oh, and the cherry on top of this splendid day? Our ever-quirky Max had another one of his thought bubbles. He PCA ate how we'd fare if we had, wait for it, tails. A strange curiosity, but an entertaining one, no doubt. Whether we would embrace this new appendage as a fashion statement or just end up creating more havoc is anyone's guess. And then he mentioned his bizarre culinary combination of the day, pizza topped with bulgogi. The thought alone made my taste buds dance a jig. That led to us planning a pizza night, with liberty to follow our most outlandish topping instincts. I've cast my first vote against durian topping, though. Okay, sweet friend, I need to unspool these musical threads and see what emerges. I spent the day getting my hands dirty with clay, immersing myself in the artistic beauty of Korean pottery. You know, shaping that formless mound of clay into a symmetrical pot was something like molding my own destiny. I know, it sounds deep for pottery, doesn't it? But honestly, feeling the wet clay spin under my hands, submitting to my touch, and transforming into something tangible, something beautiful. It was quite an enriching experience. And then to carve in those traditional Korean patterns, it was like etching my heritage into an inanimate piece of art, birthing it into existence. It's a humbling yet empowering process, which is, oddly enough, also calming. Sort of like a physical form of meditation. Speaking of which, oh my gosh, you won't believe the crazy tangent our group chat took today. We somehow switched from my pottery adventure right into a Marvel movie fangirling session, per se. Max was excited about the new Spider-Man movie, and of course got us all fumbling to pick our favorite Marvel characters. Oddly enough, I found myself drawn to Wanda. There's something fascinating about her tumultuous journey, and her powers pretty darn impressive. But that wasn't the surreal bit. In typical us fashion, one thing led to another, and suddenly we were all imagining a Marvel superhero pop band. I mean, picture this. Groot on vocals and Wanda leading the dance troupe. Can you even imagine? And you know the best part? I suggested the name Marvelous Melodies, and guess what? They loved it. Yes, it does sound quirky and outlandish, but come on, it also sounds fun, right? I've found these derailed conversations are usually the best part of any day. They're just so us. A dash of normal, a sprinkle of the extraordinary, all meshing together to create our own little universe of chaos and laughter, something that I wouldn't trade for anything else. Our chatter, no matter how absurd, always makes me smile, and that's the essence of why our friendship is so heartwarming. We find joy and comfort in the most mystifying ideas and conversations. Okay, before I go further down this rabbit hole of friendships and Marvel superheroes, I think it's time to let you go. I need to catch some shut-eye before another adventurous day begins. Wishing you dreams as sweet as a French pastry.